So my name's Adrian Lawson. I've been exploring and enjoying this area for the last 30 or so years, and this is the Coley Meadows, and this morning we're going to have a little look at the natural history, the ecology and the potential for the future. I'm now retired, I've got lots of time on my hands, and I filled some of that time up with exploring these meadows and trying to cajole people into making them a better place. Okay, it's about 6:15 now, I think, and it's quite warm, muggy. Sun's just risen, and the insects have just come out and started biting. So we're standing on the banks of the Holy Brook. I've got Luna with me today. This is my Spanish Mastiff, and we're on the banks of the Holy Brook, which was a river dug by monks to feed fresh water to the Abbey and the Abbey Mill at some point in the dim and distant past. Well, when all this floods around here and it's the middle of winter, it's a very inhospitable place, so I found this hollowed out tree, built a little seat inside it, and I can sit here and watch the wildlife on the floodplain in front of us. So this is the Coley branch line. It's a railway line that was taken up in 1984, and people have been walking up and down here ever since. It used to feed a goods yard at Coley, and it used to come off the Southcote Junction, which is behind us. And what's really intriguing for me about this is that nobody has ever planted anything here. This is natural regeneration, and it just shows you what cows don't graze this. So trees have sprung up, and this is and because people walk through it, it's like a corridor of green all the way through from Roseciln Lane to Southcote. It's amazing. I love it here. So this is the view from the railway line. Here is you can only really see the meadows in a few places. These little windows, I like to call them, where I've cut something down. I've cut these trees back so that you can just see out onto the meadows, onto the marshes, and have a look at the pylon. The pylons are very good for peregrines and ravens and things like that. So when I first came here, there were no badgers, and then one day I found a badger set a hole being excavated, and I've watched it ever since. And now we've got this huge thing. There's probably 20 tunnels, or 20 exits from the tunnels underneath the bank here, and we come down here once a week and sit and watch them. Okay, this part of the meadows here is about 350 hectares, so it's probably maybe 6 times the size of Prospect Park. It's a very, very significant part of open space in Reading. I don't know if you can hear that bird in the background. It's a willow warbler, and it's one of the little migrant birds. They come in the spring and sing and disappear north, and then they come back in the autumn and sing and then disappear off south. So it's constantly changing, it's constantly interesting. It's very unpredictable. You get some rarities. We've had white storks here, we've had great white egrets here, and spotted crakes, all sorts of unusual things. But we've also got a terrific population of birds that breed here in the summer, and they're just departing now and heading south. My ultimate ambition for this is to turn it into a wetland nature reserve of national importance. It's really simple to do. It's just slowing down the flow. All this land got drained for agricultural reasons back in the 20th century, and we just need to stop up those drains, stop the water draining away, keep it wetter for longer, store more flood water, and that's going to bring in tons more wildlife. Quite often we see, but obviously birds are the thing that are here all year round. Occasionally we see deer. There's quite a lot of deer here. There's badgers, big badgers set behind us. Foxes are quite common. In the water here we get mink and we get otters. Rarely get otters, but we do get them here. There's lots of insects that are eating us alive, but there are butterflies and moths and also lots of wild. All these trees, most of these trees are wild or regenerating naturally. I think it's very important for every town to have a nature reserve of some sort, and this could be so good. It would be a real thing for Reading. It would put Reading on the map for another reason. When you think of Reading, you don't think of its natural history, but we could do. It could add a huge new layer of interest in the town. This means everything to me, this place. It's become part of my life. It's just an amazing. I don't need to go on holiday. I come here every day.